Okay, I've been trying to do this as a live stream for quite a bit now, and it is not working at the moment. Mostly, I feel like it's the connection with YouTube, because doing it here, there isn't too much of a delay. But if I do it with YouTube, it's another story. Sorry for that, guys, but I hope you at least enjoy today's gameplay video, I guess. I'm starting from the beginning on a game I've played before on my television set, because, again, things have been difficult just trying to get a live stream going, so I'm going to do something that's at least relaxing for me. So here we go with the new Pokemon Snap. Let's see, we're meeting Professor... I forgot his name already, and Rita here. Basic idea is we're going to be seeing who lives where on this set of islands. Right. It'd be nice if maybe we got a little bit more about Captain Vince. Because while we hear a little bit, he's basically just like the guy who made some notes that led to this survey, basically. Okay, Mira, that's his name. I'm going to apologize also on the lighting, because, again, I was originally trying to use this to test everything, but, well, what can you do? Now, again, I'm used to doing this on the big screen, so today it's just going to be figuring out how to play on the light. But either way, I hope you guys will enjoy the video, such as it is. Now, boop, boop. As I was about to say, before Nintendo and Pokemon get on my case, this is just a Let's Play. I do not own the copyright for the game, the trademark, or whatever it is. The only thing I own is the footage of this gameplay, and that's it. So just let me enjoy playing. Okay, now that we've done the tutorial, let's go ahead and see how we'll do. I'm going to just make a comment here right now that his scoring system has some quirks, we'll say. If you guys have seen the meme of him going over the rear end of the doof, then you've got an idea then. I'm trying to keep from moving this too much. Okay. Pikachu is probably going to be our best photo from this first round. Let's see. Yeah, basically the whole star part is just how common a move it is. Basically, you want it to be big enough that it fits in the frame, but not that it cuts off anything. Again, the whole thing is just to find all Pokemon and get a picture of them within this region. Once I've figured out the whole video capture and encoding bit for live streaming, I'm hoping I'll do it on the big screen where it's easier for us to see everything. But again, I think the main problem is more the Wi-Fi hookup and internet connection. Okay. Like I said, this is just going to be a short, relaxing video. Something that I figure you guys can have on in the background while you are doing your Easter activities. Yeah, sometimes the best way to learn is by doing, that is for sure. Trying to scoop this up. Yeah, as I'm sure you guys can tell, I am not the most talkative. Though I'm definitely already thinking back to all the times I played this on the N64 as a kid. It's a different game, obviously, but you got the idea. Ah. Oops. Obviously not my best, guys. But considering we're just doing this for the first time, Who's that Pokemon? Emolga. Obviously, I am missing a few things, but considering it's been a while, I'd say I'm not doing too bad. Yeah, my timing has never been good with these, I can tell you right now. Let's see if we can get a better video. That I definitely consider to be the cutest one here. I know the whole from behind bit is not nice. I probably should have gotten up the doof, but that's my fault, as usual. Yeah, I think that would have been a decent picture if it wasn't in the weeds, but as you can see, I am not the... And I keep moving this darn thing. And I think I missed the one where it comes from behind, but that's on me as usual. Considering what I've taken. Yeah, ow. Ugh. We can consider this basic here. Sorry, I'm scooting this to try and do better here. Because of course I don't just have it set up in place in a decent way. Let's see how I did with this one, okay? I'm going to start with my Dodrio photos. Starting with a 2-star one. I figure that's a good one. Now we're supposed to have it big and in the center, preferably facing towards us. So I figured that one's good for a first one. Unfortunately, my Pichu photos all suck. But, well, we gotta make do with what we got. At least that one's in the center, so we'll work with it. Bouffalant, we only took one. Well, I only took one. Again, Molga from behind's not the greatest. I figure Freestar is not the easiest to get, so we'll go ahead and click on that one. Cute little Bidoof. Well, considering that focus was supposed to be Swan, I'm not surprised that one's grayed out, but Take what you can get. Again, this is going to just be me basically getting used to everything here. You can barely see it, but it's big. We got a free star here, so let's go ahead and put that in. We're going to get a lot of that in the first few rounds. You guys can just think of this as a basic tutorial for the time being. Yeah, when you get a better photo, it's best to replace it because it can increase your score, which can get you access to the other islands later on. So again, it's mostly about getting good photos of all the different Pokemon. You want them all to basically be Diamond class, like that Dodrio photo. Yeah, I understand that, Professor. Give me a sec. Yeah, there are different things that can get you good scores on this here. One of them being other Pokemon, how it's positioned, but also like the background. Basically, you just want to make the nicest picture that you can. Now, as I'm sure some of you guys noticed, I'm not very good at moving the joystick and stuff around. I am not the best at gaming, which is why I usually don't. Okay, so we've got everything going on here. Okay. Now we'll just keep working our way through. Remember what I said about the background? Well, basic shots like that with the lake just in view can be part of it. I'll say. What he doesn't mention is that certain behaviors can only be found on certain levels. This will be important once we get the quests, which we'll probably see eventually. I'm not going to do this for too long, maybe like another 30 minutes. because the way I'm leaning on my desk here has got my back hurting along with my arms. Okay, saving photos. This is basically like if you got a really good photo. Well, tells you here what you can do with photos that you want to save. This can also be for photos that you didn't do anything with, like our Dodrio photo here. It's not saving that one, obviously. Now, you can also get more photos or such from basically just taking pictures, and I'm losing my train of thought again, of course. But basically, if you want to save your favorite photos and touch them up later, you can do that here. For now, nothing I feel like I have to save, so sorry guys. We'll head back to camp now, where we'll probably hear something else from the professor. Now, I'm not doing a face cam for this one because honestly, I am probably not going to be that interesting to look at, despite my reactions. And again, this is just supposed to be a calm, casual video. These are things that have been uploaded since the game was first released about the time the pandemic started. So we'll eventually get to those. And honestly, I keep hoping they'll add more, but, well, it's been a while. At the most, we might get, hopefully, a sequel, maybe 10 years from now. But, well, you do what you do, you know? But as you can see, some of these can be used for the, well, when you resnap the photos. Come on. I'll just show you guys a few other things you can do while you're in the lab for now. Now, the internet thing I don't really use, mostly because I get worried about privacy and getting hacked. I've already gotten enough lectures about that with my job. And I'm just the lunch lady. But for you guys who are actually pretty decent with your security, you don't have to worry, I think, and can do this all you want. Start looking at the photo decks, because it looks like it's gotten us a few photos here. First, okay. Okay. Mm, yeah, I'm just going to quickly look through what we've got on the photo deck so far. Just so I don't have to see that later. I'm going to mess with the caption by saying, well, once I've gotten the hang of this anyway, that. How do you know it's been a while since I've done stuff like this? Forgot about space. Yeah, you can edit the captions how you want when you're in the lab. As I said, with practice and time, you'll be able to get some decent photos that don't look like an amateur did it. Especially in the case of Buffalant. I'm like, how did it get the score it did? And there are definitely some photos I would like to replace with better looking ones, but what can you do? Like I said, I'm used to doing this connected to a larger screen. Now, the map, you guys probably don't care so much about, but it can show you how you did with a particular area. Like which Pokemon you've seen or where you can find them. In my case, it would probably be more about trying to find which places are best for finding certain Pokemon. Which is another thing for a completionist bit. You can mark on the map every single place where you find a particular Pokemon, and there's a completionist. On my roommate Switch, I've only managed to do that for a certain secret route that you got after one of the updates. But at least gives you an idea of what you can do with the maps. Or in the lab, I mean. Bleh. Right now, I'm just hoping you guys can hear everything. I'm going to go to the Your Space now and check things out. Okay, titles are basically just like the achievements in this game. As you can see, there are a lot of different types of titles you can get for showing photos of different Pokemon sleeping, or different types of Pokemon, and so on. And like it shows here, just getting enough of a score in certain categories. Sorry, I'm constantly moving this. Again, I am not good at keeping this in a single spot. You can also edit this, of course, with the different icons, just to, again, personalize it. It's also going to show the best photo you've taken in the game. Meanwhile, I'm going to find a different icon to use here. Okay, let's go ahead and do one more go through on the photos. Or on the survey, I mean. Oh, looks like they've got another cutscene for us. Tutorial part 2. I always make mistakes with this. Now the problem with this is that it can take a minute. And when you're moving, I'll agree that it does get you some photos. Let's go ahead and do one more go through for today. If they'll actually let us this time. We're still only on the day portion, so just a simple bit. Already we got some bigger photos. No fair. I guess I'm going to pay a bit of attention over here. Or not. Oops. You've already gotten the Emolga photo before. But I'm always having to work at it. Let me get my Wurmple photo first. That wasn't supposed to be a Bidoof photo. As you can see, I'm not very good with timing. Oh. Oh, hi. Yeah, that would be too big. Let's say hello to Talo again. And again. Sometimes you might get something coming up behind you. So it doesn't hurt to keep an eye out around you. Ah, man. I missed the photo. I was trying to get the Bouffalance to show the flowers on its head, but, well, what can you do? Well, yeah, I didn't exactly do as well as I hoped. Apparently, this still counts as a 2-star photo, so we'll put that in. Let's see, were any of these photos better? Not really. Well, we gotta still send one in. Meh. That one's probably the best. Still on the small side, but it'll give us something at least. It's basically the same thing, just with orange, so we'll leave that alone. Yeah, I'm not counting that either, honestly. That's probably going to get us a better score, but I'm also like, I've got to do better. You can probably guess how I can be irritated sometimes if I'm not careful with this. Yes, I'm sure you can tell I don't always do well on this game. Mhm. Like I said, I'm not the most talkative on here. So I am definitely going to be trying to improve on that as we work on gameplay. Alright, that's a better photo for Grookey. Now if I can just do it from the front. Timing's always been my issue on that particular photo. But apparently that's already better for Wurmple. Looks like we ended up taking a picture of the one behind Bidoof. So, yeah. Doesn't always work out like you plan when you do photos. Sorry guys, I'm going to keep adjusting this as I notice that, well, doing this is going to cause some issues, obviously. Let's see what his report is going to be this time. But first, I'm going to save a couple photos because there was one at least that I figure is pretty nice. At least until I get a better version of it. Okay. Yeah, that's the gimmick for this particular Snap game. The Illumina Pokemon. let's go ahead and see what we can take at night. If I can keep from moving the camera as much. Think we're ready? Okay, nice nighttime outing. Yeah, like Sleepy Boofalot there. Oops. And I missed out on Scored Bunny over there, but I suck when it comes to moving Pokemons. But what can you do? Come on, Score Bunny. I probably should have upped the camera speed. Like me moving it, I mean. Ohio Tank, or Konbanwa Tank growth. Uh-oh. Don't think we can photograph just yet, that one. Oh, little Torterra. Oops. Let's see if we can get that coming back. Nope. Like I said, I'm not always the best at getting these guys, so. Again, I totally suck. Oh. Sometimes you gotta make do with what you can get. And I at least know myself well enough to know that there are things I'm not going to get here. Well, hello, Micro. Almost forgot about the cone bee. Okay, I at least got a few decent photos. Maybe not the greatest, but considering how much of a perfectionist I am when it comes to even taking photos, well, not surprising. Again, let's start with my... That's the 2-star. Honestly, I think I'll go with something else. Yeah, I didn't get too many good Bidoof photos, so we're going to have to go with the one from behind. And that Tangrowth one isn't much better, really. Yeah, I'm going to admit, some of these did not get very good timing. Some of these, you also just got to decide if you want to pick the biggest or the smallest. That one's probably going to be our best one. At least until we get a better chance. Remember, the idea with the photo decks is to get the best looking photos. Okay, so at least in that case, it's not about the Bidoof butt. Oh, apparently I got it in the center. Bad timing. Give me a sec. Come on. Apparently I can't answer my sister's phone call at the moment. Well, I was planning to end things pretty quick soon. Okay, I'm gonna have to rush through this part. Because my sister is not the sort to take waiting very well. Plus, most of these aren't going to have very good ratings at the moment. That one I actually like, so we'll keep going through. If I got it in the center, we'd be fine. As you can see, I'm just speeding through this part here. Already leveled up. I'd like to look at my photos again, but considering I again have to basically keep up with my sister, I'm gonna have to keep it at that. Don't worry, I'll play this again soon. I'll just go through the cutscene really quick. This is basically us getting an idea on the Illumina Pokemon for this particular island. And again, maybe at least this one bit. I can make my sister wait a little longer, I think. At the very least, you're going to want to see this Illumina Pokemon. That is a big Meganium. Now, at this point in time, we can't just speed up the way we'd like to, but we'll use what we can to get a reaction. Now, right now, this is the only Pokemon we're getting, so let's make sure to get a few decent shots here. Considering how big this is, you want to make sure not to zoom in, really. I don't know why I accidentally took a picture there. Well, I can. I thought I was going to hit a different button. Yeah, make sure to pay attention when you're doing stuff, everyone. Now, obviously, we only get one choice for photo. I didn't think we'd get a Crystal Bloom choice this time. Right, I forgot. Photos only count when it's in the Illumina state. think that time is dead center, so we'll go ahead and just go ahead and see what we get. Sorry, guys. I keep moving this. Honestly, I think that's one of the better photos I've done the whole time. I also think that's like one of the first times we've been able to get a picture of that. Okay, there is one photo I'm probably going to save here. But honestly, when you save things here, you want to get the ones that you aren't likely to get again. And honestly, I think we're going to get a lot of these. I guess we'll do our final cutscene and then shut down for today. Well, if you guys don't mind this little quick playthrough of Pokemon Snap, or the Switch version anyway. Sorry again, I wasn't the most talkative. Don't you love when cutscenes do the tomorrow bit? I guess we finished our tutorial bit and now we're officially part of the team. Now this does autosave, so we can just hit home for now and end it there. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.